I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss it. But the name of this show is Trending in the AM. And what does that mean? A.J. Brown drama and the Eagles' offensive play calling woes are the trending topic. So we got to talk about it. Trending in the AM, talking Eagles, talking A.J. Brown, Sixers, Phillies, hot stove, all of the above and more. We're live, taking your thoughts and opinions in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter. You know the drill wherever you're watching. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and, of course, subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page. Would greatly appreciate, guys. It's literally free to hit those buttons and share this out and do your thing. YouTube is also the only place you can vote on the poll question of the day. So if you're watching on Twitter and you want to vote on the poll, head on over to the YouTube page. Who should call offensive plays on Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagles? Your options are Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, Howie Roseman, and Juan Castillo. I have a feeling I know where the poll votes will go, but please vote on the poll. Hit those like, subscribe, share buttons. We got lots to dive into today. I hate to talk A.J. Brown drama. I do. I do, but we are trending in the AM. And it is trending. And A.J. Brown spoke with the media after practice, and it was probably one of his more direct and to-the-point set of comments. No beating around the bush with A.J. yesterday. He was to the point. It's not necessarily about his stats, more so the standard that this offense as a whole should be put to. That, yes, he's frustrated, rightfully so. You put the work in, you want the results. And, he spent a lot of time talking. So we got to get into it today. We got to discuss it today, whether we want to or not. How right is he? And obviously, a lot of his issues stem from the simple fact that the offensive play calling has been pretty abysmal outside of about 3 or 4 halves of football all year. So we're going to get into the A.J. Brown, the truths and the overreactions, but how it relates to what's actually wrong. And we're having a little fun putting Howie Roseman and Juan Castillo in the poll question. How do we fix Kevin Patullo and the offense? That's really the question. So let's get right to the comments, guys. All I'm saying is with the talent we have on offense, we should be the greatest show on turf. I'm pissed that Nick and Howie didn't learn from the 23 debacle. They have learned from the 23 debacle, Davey, and good morning to you. Because it's not falling apart like it did in 23. So they have learned from it. And yes, good morning. I'm okay with AJ speaking about the shit show. He'll be gone next season, maybe, and then we'll be sorry. The guy, I agree with this. Like, I know the talk is always A.J. Brown, out, not out, whatever. Does he want to go or not? I truly don't think A.J. Brown wants to leave the Eagles. I don't. But he might. Because you can see it and hear it in Nick Sirianni's voice when he speaks to the media and gets peppered with questions about A.J. Brown over and over again. He's like, guys, I'm done. I got nothing else to say about it. Nick Sirianni never loses his cool. Nick Sirianni never doesn't give a 15-minute answer to a question that takes 5 minutes. What's up, Duck? Good morning to you. I picked Castillo because other wasn't available. I know. It was either other or Juan Castillo. I was going to go with the offensive coordinator or the replacements, but I couldn't remember which coach was the offensive coordinator there. I'd let Vic call the play calls for the offense. Vic might be capable. Jalen Hurts is a mid quarterback. Well, that is completely false. Good morning, Adam. I see you didn't get your get your goal yesterday. It's okay. What's up, Rick? Good morning to you. Glad to have you back in the chat. Sirianni used his Super Bowl cred on Patullo. Howie and Jeffrey should never let him pick his own staff again. Yeah, look, Nick Sirianni still does a lot of great stuff. Let's be honest. Him taking the bullet for that 4th and 6 play call, or Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown going rogue. That's what a great coach does. That's what a CEO coach does. I'll take the crap from you guys. But him picking his coordinator should never happen again. Never, never, never. I'm not saying Brian Dable's the answer. But after the season, we're going to go into next season with another new coordinator for Jalen Hurts. And Howie Roseman should be picking that. Pom-pom and a nice Eagles cheerleader outfit for Sirianni from now on. Oh, man. You glossing over AJ's message. He's really telling his quarterback to do his damn job. All right, so I'm trying to answer this because I don't think Jalen Hurts does anything wrong. Yeah, obviously, I'm a Jalen Hurts truther. I'm the guy that loves the guy. He can do no wrong in my book. I do criticize him when he makes mistakes, though. You just missed that. A.J. Brown's calling out the offense as a whole. Kevin Patullo, Jalen Hurts, the offensive line. There's a lot more wrong with the offense than just what you're putting it on Jalen Hurts here. That's the thing. This is not Jalen Hurts is having a bad season, because Jalen Hurts is having a very good season. What's up, Robert? Good morning to you. Phil, in your opinion, do you believe stats and personal accolades are more important to AJ than winning? Yes and no. A.J. Brown does care about winning. A.J. Brown also wants to be known as one of the best wide receivers of all time. Getting 2 catches a game, he can't do that. Okay? A.J. Brown wears a C on. So here's the thing, Rick. I know what you're getting at, because I saw your comments on YouTube last night. I was kind of half awake, half not when I was reading them, so whatever. Anyway, I know you're blaming A.J. Brown and saying he's part of the problem and the drama is unnecessary, and I get that. I agree with that. But if he was such a problem for the team, for the locker room, for his teammates, he would not have that C on his chest. Yes, he does not lead the way you and I were raised to lead. But I think some of his outside comments are misconstrued as he just cares about stats and not winning. And he openly said that I want to win. I also want the offense to do their part. I don't want to be carried by the defense and special teams. And I think that's a big part of it. I want Duck calling plays. Dude, I think the core 12 could do a much better job at calling plays. Absolutely not. They can't pay me enough to put my life in danger like that. Oh, my God. Had a bunch of people scan it and said they would check it out. We gained nobody yesterday. I gained 2 overnight, but that was about it. Coaches can call plays, but Hurts can still feed AJ. Going rogue away from the plays is what happens on 4th and 6. But Jalen Hurts, when he's not trying to force the ball to AJ, in those 3 or 4 moments this year, not been good. Eagles fans sound like Green Bay fans. Go listen to their content. We sound like losers. I'm the complete opposite, Keith. I'm trying to downplay this situation, okay? We are 7-2. We've beaten the Rams. We've beaten the Packers. We've beaten the Chiefs. We've beaten the Buccaneers. Go look at some of the other 7-2 and 6-3 teams and what their wins are against. Ridiculous. We're 7-2 right now. And that's all that matters. AJ furious. AJ's furious that the offense is getting carried. That's the thing. People got to understand. He's embarrassed for the offense as a whole. You're back. Yeah, he's back in the chat. He came back last night on the shorts. I did get Rick Taka, Keith Jones, Danny Briere, and Mickey Morandini autographs. Awesome. That is awesome. I hope you had a lot of fun yesterday, Adam. Do you believe AJ has a toxic personality in his workplace as compared to other players on the team? No, I mean, again, this goes back to the fact that he is a captain. Who chooses the captains on a football team, Rick? The other players. Okay? The other players vote on who the captain should be. I don't know if this is all teams, but that's the way the Eagles do it. A.J. Brown This is nothing new this year from him. He was like this last year, and they still chose him as a captain. So I don't think he's toxic in the workplace. I think he doesn't lead the traditional way we were brought up by. He's not a Darren Dalton, Lenny Dykstra leader. He's not a Seth Joyner, Andre Waters type leader. He does things his own way. Whether we like that or not, that's another whole subject. But I don't think he's a toxic personality. They don't use AJ much, and I thought he was the best wide receiver a year ago. Now, he's still one of the best wide receivers. He is just not. And the thing is, they are still trying to use him. In the Green Bay game, for example, if you go back and watch the film, there was at least 3 or 4 plays designed to go to A.J. Brown that Green Bay did a great job double covering him, so you couldn't get him the ball. And now if Jalen Hurts goes there and it gets picked off, why would he throw into double coverage? The plays have been called for A.J. Brown. Defenses are doing everything possible, like not playing man defense on him. When he's in man, he gets the ball and he succeeds. Well, you play zone against him, he can't get it. Defenses are taking him away from the Eagles, away from Jalen Hurts, away from the game plan. And A.J. Brown said that yesterday, if you listen to the full 8 minutes. Yeah, a lot of cool names there. To many of them said they already listened to 90. Yeah, of course. Of course they do. Scored 10 points. Y'all happy about that? You know what I'm happy about, Pump? We got the W. Okay, there's a W. This is all that matters. As long as you get a W, that's all that matters. All right? Just notice I can't get my pinky to stay there. Anyway. Would you be happier? Do you want to be a Cowboys fan bragging that we put up 40 against the Packers but tied? Or would you rather brag about winning 10-7? You sound like a Cowboys fan in that scenario. I wonder if AJ thinks Hurts is ass or play calling. I just think he thinks the entire offense is underperforming. Do you feel the C was put on AJ's jersey as a preemptive way of trying to avoid him having a personality meltdown? Well, then the teammates had to choose it. Nick Sirianni didn't say, we're just going to slap a C to keep him quiet. His teammates made that choice. And yes, I like A.J. Brown and Rick to handle things more like last night or yesterday after the winter. The pressers were a little late yesterday. Or maybe just because it got so dark out so early, I felt like they were late. He was so direct yesterday after practice. That's what I want from him. Not on who, what's this dude's name? Janky Rondo? What the hell is that dude? I don't want him going on Twitch streams. I don't want subtle tweets. Yeah, I hate that. That is the new day and age, a way people vent. I mean, I vent on Twitter all the time about personal things. But you got to understand, that C is voted on by the teammates. AJ is more of a leader. Hurts only a leader on game day. I don't know. It's just 2 totally different personalities. 2 different ways of leading. Jalen Hurts was raised by a football coach. He's got that coach's way of doing things. You're giving cliche answers. AJ's more vocal and emotional. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. You can have, if you go back to 93 with the Phillies, you had Dykstra, Dalton, and Kruk. 3 great leaders that all led differently. Okay? The reason I point the finger at AJ is because the team is 7-2 and beating the toughest teams, and he still felt the need to stir up drama. Otherwise, on an otherwise happy team. Yeah, and I get that. And we should be happy 7-2. But in my opinion, from the words he said yesterday, he was more open about the fact that, is it sustainable when we get to the playoffs or wherever when you're winning games 10-7, when you're not moving the football on offense? His is more of a, yeah, this is great. We're 7-2, but we should be better. Yeah, we're winning 7-2, but we're being carried by the defense. The defense is always going to make the big play at the big moment. The offense has got to be better to take some of the pressure off the defense. And I think that's what A.J. Brown was trying to convey yesterday. Rick, please don't give another stop. Why would you stir the problem? We're having a good day so far. Phil, do you believe AJ was a big reason? I still don't know. Obviously, there were rumors that Hassan Reddick had something to do with that. And the defensive situation had a lot to do with that, with the Cy and Patricia. You got to remember, Rick, in 2023, the Eagles had the 8th ranked offense in football. Everyone blames Brian Johnson, this and that. But we're actually really damn good in 2023 on offense. You think Howie tried to deal A.J. Brown to deadline? No. I'm sure he got calls, but no. He was not taking that cap hit. He was not trading away a key player at that point. Enough drama, he said. Look, he doesn't want drama. He just wants the offense to do their job. A.J. always have a ton of players, other players in his locker after practicing games if you are that toxic. Exactly. I think the team loves A.J. Brown, and they don't have an issue with the way he handles business. You think A.J. will take plays off now? I mean, A.J. Brown does take plays off. You know, if anything you want to be frustrated with the offense, anything you want to be frustrated with A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, why is A.J. Brown only on the field? I forget the exact number. He was just not on the field for like 12, 13 plays on Monday Night Football. A healthy A.J. Brown should be on the field for 95, 98% of the plays. Teams know frustrating A.J. is their best shot. Exactly. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. I'm way behind on comments. Guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Share. Continue dropping the comments. I'm going to rapid fire to catch up on these comments. But please, 20 people watching, 8 likes, not good enough. Hit those buttons, guys. Do you mean continue to take plays off? Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Phil, you know we can have both, win and dominate. Exactly, and that's what A.J. Brown's talking about. And that's great. I would love to win and dominate, but I'd rather win than not win, okay? Winning is always number one on the importance meter, okay? Interesting that the 2 games prior to the Green Bay game, Hurts had 7 total touchdowns, perfect passer rating. The team put up 70 points combined those 2 games and was still bit. And I get that. I totally get that. And it's a very valid, warranted comment, Rick. I get it. But they still weren't. Even those 2 games, it's not like we put up a full 4 quarters. Well, maybe we had a full 4 quarters against the Giants, but that's about it. I think his bitching maybe in those scenarios was like, see, we can do this. We can succeed. Packers might be asked. That's true. Eagles, this is not the A.J. Browns. Clearly nobody here remembers 70s blackouts. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. That's all that matters, Keith. Man, I love positive Keith. Normally you're battling me, but today we're on the same page, Keith. I like that. Media is a business, and he's trolling the media. It's so obvious. It absolutely is obvious in certain scenarios. Absolutely. Not yesterday afternoon, last night. That was the most direct and to the point I've ever heard A.J. Brown be. And you know, here's another thing. We spent a lot of time, and Rick, I'll get your comment in a second, next comment in a second. We spent a lot of time this week talking about player and athlete mental health. A.J. Brown might not be confident leading the way we want him to lead. If you go watch the video with the audio of his 8 minutes, he buttons and unbuttons, or snaps and unsnaps his buttons on his jacket like 100 times. Like he was so fidgety and uncomfortable trying to be serious, firm A.J. Brown. Maybe going on Twitch streams and screwing around. Maybe tweeting. That's the way he's confident doing it to the public. Him being serious, firm. Maybe it makes him mentally very uncomfortable to be that way. If you had an employee at your business that continually stirred up drama, even as your business is flourishing, would you still keep that employee around? If I thought the employee was an elite employee, yeah. And I've done that before. Absolutely. Now, if they sucked at their job and were bitching, then no. Depends on how talented he is. Exactly. That's what it comes down to. President Steve doing a great, absolutely. They always do great with the camp out. Someday I got to go. AJ has a lot of pride for the team and want to see them prosper. That's all it is. But I truly do believe, Triple X, that he wants to win more than anything else. The Eagles have scored 24 more points in 6 of 9 games and 20 and 21 points in 2 other games. Yeah, I mean, in theory, with the talent on the offense, Rick, shouldn't we be having those same numbers with 30 points a game and 35 points a game in that. And I think that is a concern, a worry for some fans and the players. The Eagles have a top 12 total offense, not even close. I didn't write it down, but I started glancing. They're bottom third in every offensive category, but they're 7-2. Answer the poll is Doug Peterson. As Doug Peterson's name is not on there. I like Jonathan. Changes the answers to the question. Defense wins championships. If this continues, then it's a problem. But times other parts of the team have to pick up other. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to pick everybody up on any team, right? Maybe AJ isn't getting a target as much because he's half-assing on some plays. And they do notice that, for sure. I agree. But a lot of the time he's not getting the ball because teams are taking him away. Just like teams are taking away Saquon Barkley, teams are taking A.J. Brown away and saying, find another way to beat us. That's all they're doing. Plus, you look at yesterday's practice report. We had 4 starting offensive linemen on the practice report not practicing fully yesterday. We have not had a full offensive line health all year. The pass protection and run blocking have been terrible. That affects getting the ball to A.J. Brown. That affects Saquon Barkley running the ball. That affects the pressure that Jalen Hurts is under to speed up his decision-making. Did you see Justin Jefferson put in 0 effort on the end zone? Yeah. Where's anybody complaining about Justin Jefferson trying to make a tackle? I don't see anybody doing that on social media. So all this drama, is it safe to say AJ will have a monster game Sunday night? Everybody's going to drop him in their fantasies, then yes, he is. Sirianni is the problem since he became head coach. He doesn't involve many players in his offense. His offense is like a strict diet recipe. Well, Nick Sirianni is the greatest and most winning quarterback in Eagles history. The one common theme I've noticed is anytime there's been drama over the last 4 years that AJ is involved, that speaks volumes. It depends on your characteristic of drama. I don't think there's drama right now. I think what drama we're talking about, him talking on a Twitch stream, it's not real drama. It's media-created drama. If everybody would just ignore what he said on that Twitch stream, we'd be talking about the play calling only right now. Everything is not sunshine and rainbows. We've clearly said it's not, Pup Man. But we're not pointing the finger at any one individual on the team. AJ will definitely not be an Eagles claps again. Team leads league in 3 and outs. Yeah, I mean, that is true. Mental health is definitely something to take serious, and I don't poke fun at it. And I say this delicately, but AJ really should talk to a professional. And maybe he does, Rick. And you said you watched the video. Did you notice what I noticed? He went buttoned up his jacket like he was getting ready to go. Then he unsnapped it. Then he heard the locker room person say, all right, only a few more questions. So he started buttoning up his jacket again. Then he unsnapped it again. He does not feel comfortable the way we want him to talk. If the Eagles were 2-7, 7-7-2, then maybe guys should complain, but this just seems senseless. Again, is it complaining? Or is it his way of trying to remind everybody we're 7-2, but we can be better? Yeah, I mean, imagine we might have a 900 winning record if we had a real head coach, right? Never hear Saquon or Devontae or Goddard complain this year or any year. Well, Goddard never can complain because he's always hurt. Not this year, but whatever. Devontae is not that vocal player, and Saquon leads in a different way. Okay, Saquon's the guy on the sidelines talking to the players in between drives. Everybody leads in a different way. Yeah, we want more Saquon type, leaders. It's not the way it is. The thing with A.J. Brown is you don't know what you got till it's gone. Paid paradise, put up a parking lot. We move on from A.J. Brown. We're going to miss him a lot quicker than we realize. We've suffered with wide receivers in the city for so long. And everybody wants Saquon Barkley to go, or A.J. Brown to go. Like, just think about that. Just think about what it would be like with life without him. Maybe A.J.'s still dealing with a hamstring problem and not getting that push off. Maybe he's not confident in his legs. Who knows, Big Al? But what I know is that the only issue that is there is the issue that the media makes us believe is there and that some fans double down on because certain people say it. They took away AJ, so we beat them with Smitty. Exactly. Because it's a team thing. I don't get Sirianni using his Super Bowl glow up to put Patullo as OC. It's definitely the problem is if you don't want Jalen Hurts to have a new coordinator again next year, and guys, now there's only 12 likes. There's still 22 people watching. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not yet, guys. If you don't want AJ or Jalen Hurts and all of them to have a new offense coordinator again next year, then you got to keep Kevin Patullo. But Kevin Patullo sucks at his job. So that means starting over again next offseason. What skills do I need to work you? I'm a good earner boss. Yeah. What's up, mister? Good morning to you. Tough to take shots at Sirianni. That's exactly correct. And he might be a CEO coach, and that rubs people the wrong way. But you know what? Him sitting up there yesterday saying, yo, I was okay with that 4th and 6 call. It's crazy. It is drama if everybody's talking about him and not the first place team. It is drama, yes. But I think if we stop talking about it, then it would be ignored and it wouldn't be a problem. What's up, Elephant in the room? How you doing today? The criticism of AJ on the 4th and 6 in the fourth quarter is football arrogance and lack of attention to detail. He's gotten huge touchdowns on 4th by slow playing and late low handling the ball to deceive the quarterback. Yeah, cornerback. Sorry, quarterback. The Eagles can go from 7-2 to 2-7 if the offense doesn't pick it up. Jordan Love and his receivers bailed Eagles out in key moments, not holding Detroit to 7 points. We are definitely not holding Detroit to 7 points. Definitely not. And I'm really worried about Sunday night because Detroit's a damn fine football team that I think a lot of people are sleeping on this year. I got A.J. Brown on my fantasy team. Don't drop him. Don't listen to A.J. Don't drop him. Watch the new Jurassic World movie, and now what a big old pile of that. Why would you waste your time with that? We've had like 22, 23 concurrent today. Not enough people hitting the like button, though. My point is that drama wasn't necessary this season, all this season. But here we are talking about drama and says Super Bowl defending champion Eagles. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to drive at. If we focus on talking about the play calling, what's wrong with the play calling? Is it execution? Is it the injuries on the offensive line? If more people focused on that than A.J. Brown's Twitch stream, and in reality, half the things that A.J. Brown said on that Twitch stream were in reference to the fact that whoever this janky guy is he was playing, I don't know who he is, was smoking his ass in Madden. A lot of his frustrations were that. Dude, the goal is 1,000, not 850. But I have to get to 850 subscribers before I get to 1,000. So subscribe if you have not. Think about this. After Hurts blow up to Patullo on the sideline, he's fallen into line. Laurie and Hallie had a talk with him, or he would still be putting pressure on Patullo. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think Howie and Laurie would ever take sides against the family, and the family is Jalen Hurts. This is Jalen Hurts' team. If it came down to Patullo Hurts, they're choosing Hurts. If it came down to Hurts, Sirianni, they're choosing Hurts. They're choosing Hurts over everybody. Hurts has got to be tired of having new offense coordinator every year. Hurts does. A.J. Brown does. The offensive, everybody's got to be tired of it. Those who are critical of A.J. are simply wearing blinders over eyes. The Lions target Amon-Ra St. Brown twice in games. Why is the Lions so efficient and the Eagles have issues? It comes down to the play calling, the execution, and the injuries on the offensive line. That is, to me, what the problems with this offense are. Will Jameis Williams hump the turf? Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah. This much I know. I'm extremely happy and in a great mood because the Eagles are in first place. 5s and 6s are trending up. Hey, so am I. Hell, even Mr. Negative Phillies fan is excited for this offseason to see what they do. The Sixers are fun. The Flyers, I've watched more Flyers hockey through the first month and change of the season than I did all of last year. We got goals. You got to have goals. You got to get to 869 before 1,002. He says he speaks to Laurie before every game. Who, Jalen Hurts? Yeah. And Jalen Hurts takes his side. Or Jeffrey Laurie would take his side in every situation. Eagles will beat the Lions. I hope so. Right now, in my mind, it's too early to tell because we don't know if Cam Jurgens will be back. We don't know anything about a lot of guys. The injured players and all. In my mind, on a Thursday morning when it's way too early for me to make a prediction, right now, I'm thinking there's two ways this game's going to play out. We're going to lose a close game, like 24-20, 23-17, or we're going to put up 38 points and win 38-24. I haven't figured it out, but it's going to be one of those two scenarios, in my opinion. Vladar was amazing again. It's good to have a solid quality goaltender. Go figure. B-Ball Paul at 28, 13, 6-5 last night. Bickerstaff is a good coach. B-Ball Paul still sucks. Well, he doesn't suck. Massively overrated. That's what he did last night. That his next game will be like 3-2-1. Okay? B-Ball Paul is pretty mediocre, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Where are we at with the poll question of the day? Who should call the plays? Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, Howie Roseman, and Juan Castillo. Obviously, Juan Castillo was winning at 45%. Knew that was going to happen. Howie Roseman, 15%. Nick Sirianni, 10%. 30% of the votes still want Kevin Patullo to call the plays. And I'm really asking this because we're 10 weeks into the season. We're entering week 11. You can't change your offensive coordinator, but you can change who's making the play calling. And you've seen a bunch of bad teams make changes this past week or two on offense and defensive play calling. Not firing the coordinator, but changing who's making those calls, defensively and offensively. All right? You're not firing Kevin Patullo and bringing in Brian Dable to be the OC late in the season and make major changes. So your options are Kevin Patullo or putting the ball back in Nick Sirianni's hand to call the plays. And we know how that goes from 2021. You don't want Nick Sirianni calling plays. Now, Scott Loeffler, the quarterback's coach, he's got play calling experience. Would I mind if he got a chance to call plays? No, not really. But something has to change. But the options for the change on the play calling no option is better than the current option. And that's on Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie for allowing Kevin Patullo. And I said it before the season. In the offseason, when we hired Kevin Patullo, we all knew it was going to be Kevin Patullo. And I said, why do we not hear names being interviewed here? Because they were just always giving him the job no matter what. Yeah, you've been loyal. We'll give you a shot. There's a reason he's been a 16-year NFL coach and never had this opportunity before. Just makes you think. The line is still 2.5 Eagles favorite. That's good. Hasn't moved yet. Problem with the O goes back to 23 season. Plain basic and predictable. It's a Sirianni thing and or Hurts thing. Put AJ on Baltimore and the Rams, for example. On Baltimore, he ain't going to do much more on Baltimore. Rams, maybe. Okay? And in 2023, I think AJ Brown's stats were pretty good. Again, 8th ranked offense in 2023. Howie needs to bring in Dable on the phone. Now, if you want to bring in Dable as a consultant, I could get behind that. Have him help a little bit at practice and up in the coach's booth. Sure. No team goes through coordinators like us because no team wins at the rate we have in the last 4 years. We haven't lost coordinators outside 23. All our other coordinators that we lost because they got hired for head coaching jobs. The result of being a winning team is that your coaches get poached. Your free agents get poached. That's just what happens. I don't think Kevin Patullo is the issue. He does what Nick wants done and how it's done. Well, that's why you need a play caller, an offensive coordinator that's not best buddies with the head coach to consult the same way Unc Vic did in 22, but Arizona screwed us on that one. Yeah. Look, I'm finally at the point admitting that maybe a consultant is not a bad idea. For the Rams game, the Eagles offense did not attempt a single intermediate pass route. AJ has a lot of bread and butter on those deep ends. They're not called a lot. They're called more than we realized and just well covered. But yes, it's not been perfect. Keep Dable far away. He's such a. I agree, Anthony. I'm not sure I want Dable here in any capacity. He's just the new name, okay, that was recently fired. That's why he's a talking point. He's the new fresh name, the new kid on the block. O'Doyle rules. That's right. It's going to be a close game. No score predictions yet. Have to see who's playing. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I don't want Eagles fans and the Eagles sleeping on Detroit. What's up, AK? Good morning to you. Feels good to be back. I had to take a couple mornings off because of catering orders and my physical on Tuesday. And you take a few days off from during the morning show, and I start to shake a little bit. I mean, I literally went from Friday morning show till the day without a morning show. Like, my hands were shaking. Can't go without it. That's why I need you guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't shared. Drop your comments. I really don't think you need to make a change. But you got to find a way to unlock what Kevin Patullo needs to do to get this offense where they need to. There is no reason why that the Eagles' offense is not in the top 10 in the NFL. If 23's offense could be top 10, why can't this? But I think it comes down. I think people want to point fingers. Well, it's Kevin Patullo's fault. It's A.J. Brown's fault. It's Jalen Hurts' fault. I really just think that it's the inexperience of Kevin Patullo, sure. But we have been a relatively healthy team for a very long time. And you look at yesterday's Eagles injury report, okay? And you see Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, and everybody but Jordan Mailata limitedly practicing. Cam Jurgens has missed games. Landon Dickerson's missed games this year. Lane Johnson's missed 3 halves of football this year. Tyler Steen's been relatively healthy. You can't win when your supposedly elite offensive line can't stay healthy, isn't healthy, is playing at 40% health. If anything, that's the most underrated issue facing this offense. You can't win when your offensive line can't pass protect. You can't win when your offensive line can't open up holes for your running back. They don't go 3-level route concepts with Hurts, but when they do, you will almost always see Goddard or Smitty open because of the gravity drawn. Exactly, and he's drawing a lot of double coverage this year. A lot of it. Would you say AJ's a diva like T.O. or Des Bryant or Chad Ochocinco? Ochocinco. He's got a lot. I think A.J. Brown is the modern. He's a cross between T.O. and Joel Embiid, in my opinion. He's elite like A.J. or like T.O. He's got the big body like T.O. I was watching the video of T.O. marching up and down the sideline, following Donovan McNabb around. That one game, in his ear chirping on him. You can see Donovan trying to get away. A.J. Brown's different, but I think he's most like T.O. with a mix of Joel Embiid. Good morning. How you doing? A.J. is nowhere near as disruptive as T.O. and Ochocinco. Was Ochocinco really that disruptive? I'm not even sure. Not even sure if he was that disruptive. I'm not sure. Lions will have to commit penalties and turnovers to lose the game. To stop Detroit, you stop their running game point blank. Eagles could slow them down. Yeah, look, we've struggled stopping the run this year. It's gotten better, but we still definitely struggle doing it. Guys, we can back up over 20 people again. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share. Green Bay has the same problem. So does absolutely. There's so many teams that have bigger problems than the Eagles. Again, it goes back to the fact we are still 7-2, and our strength of schedule of teams we've beaten compared to other teams is way harder. I mean, we've beaten Green Bay. This goes back to Cowboys fans bragging on Tuesday morning. Well, we put up 40 against Green Bay. You guys suck. Yeah, you put up 40 and didn't win the damn football game. The parity in the NFL is massive this year. There are so many teams losing games they shouldn't, so many teams winning games that they shouldn't. Yet here we are, winning every game we should except for the Giants game and losing only twice, and we're still complaining. Is Eagles wasting AJ's career? Outside of this year, AJ Brown's stats have been elite every year but this year. If the Eagles were 2-7, but AJ was leading the NFL in every offensive category for receivers, would he still be complaining? If so, that would, yeah. Look, see, I don't think I think the story would be different. I think he would be complaining that he wants us to find a way to win. Because I think deep down inside, A.J. Brown cares more about winning than anything else. The players have to execute the plays for them to work and to be good plays. Execution matters. People forget that. I've seen this. I've theorized this. I've thought about this. I may have even said this, that Mailata has regressed too. Maybe Mailata is injured and just playing through it. I don't know. Not making excuses. He's been bad. I mean, those 2 false starts on Monday night, not good, not like him. He's playing with a mixed-matched offensive line every game. He openly admitted how his offseason got started slowly because he was so beat up from the Super Bowl run and the 2,000-yard rushing season. I wonder how much of it is he's regressed and how much of it is he's just banged up and not healthy. I don't think they beat Detroit. I think it's going to be a lot more difficult than a lot of fans will admit. I really do. AJ is not doing diva stuff because he plays wide receiver. People with the labels. Rest in peace, Larry Brooks. John Travolta delivers the eulogy. Guess what? I don't know why I'm not thinking of that. Was AJ Brown a diva on the Titans? Maybe. I'm not sure. AJ seems pretty disruptive. He's kind of the meaning of disruptive. Is he? Or is he trying to light a fire under his teammates, under his coaches? Look, this is all speculation. What you think, what I think. We're just summarizing our opinions on the information that's out there available to us. We're looking at it from 2 different sides. And I get it. And I think there is some truth to what you say. With Dean in, we have really defended the run so much better. Absolutely agree. AJ needs to be disruptive on the field, not off it. And that is a very fair comment. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm just glazing over all the A.J. Brown stuff. A.J. Brown is not free of blame in any of these situations. I don't want people to think that that's the way I'm doing it. I'm trying to find a fine middle line on this here. The Eagles thrive in chaos. A.J. Brown, big game income, and just wait. Dude, I love it. I love that feeling. What's the formula to beat the Lions? In my opinion, there's 2 things that you got to do to beat the Lions, okay? 2 main things. You got to stop their run game, 100%. Can they? We'll find out. You got to keep them off the field offensively. So the offense that's been so bad needs to not just win time of possession. It needs to dominate time of possession. You got to win time of possession by 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes on Sunday night to keep that potent offense of the Lions off the field. You need them to have as few plays as possible. And you got to stop that running attack, which sets up the passing game. The Phillies are supposedly making Johan Rojas available in trade talks. Cool. That's good. We don't need him. If AJ was only about winning, shouldn't he be extremely happy right now? Yes. And I think he is happy that they're winning. But again, Rick, is the Eagles defense going to hold the Lions to 7 points this week? No. That means the offense has got to be better. And that's what A.J. Brown's talking about yesterday. Look, yeah, we won. Great. But that way to winning is, I think he used that yesterday in his comments. It's not sustainable to keep winning the way we've been winning. Thank you. I get a few points fair. Fans eat this stuff up. The locker room just laughs. It's all a big, massive troll job. Plain and simple, in my opinion. Rojas is the type of player that would have fit perfectly into our 10-year playoff drought. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you on that one. Rojas is nothing special. Rojas is a quadruple A player. A good triple A player that's not good enough to make the majors. That's just at least mine. All right, we're up to 21 likes on the video. Not too bad. We have not gained any new subscribers yet, but keep hitting those like and subscribe and share buttons, guys. Ajomo did well to call out the inside zone, but he did get owned on that last play on D where Phillips stopped Jacobs. We were so focused on the stop on Jacobs, I missed what Ajomo did on that. They made AJ a co-captain. He has to be a role model his way. Yeah, look, I said this all show. You're a little late to the show. He was voted on by his teammates to have that C on his jersey, okay? If he was such a problem, there's no way he would have been voted a captain. Pressure on Goff gets turnovers equals Eagles victory. Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely fair. And our pass rush looks revitalized after last week, right? That was the best I've seen the pass rush look all year last week. Run right at Aiden Hutchinson? Absolutely. It's always a key to success right there. A.J. Brown was right about the offense for this year and last year. Other NFL teams can scheme for their top wide receiver or offensive players. How do we fix it, though? Dable will never be an Eagles coach. Good, right? I really don't know if he's a good coach or not. So defense, again, poor squad. Offense needs to click. Open the playbook. Use Kellen's scratch book. KP or Nick need to call. Like, weren't we told when it was announced that Kevin Patullo was taking over that he was going to keep Kellen Moore's playbook and just add some new wrinkles? Wasn't that what we were told? Ave? Is it Ave? But it looks nothing like Kellen Moore's playbook. It looks like the Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni playbook. Oh, we gained 2 more subscribers? All right, my screen didn't show it yet. Keep it going up. Hit those buttons, guys. I think the Eagles score at least 30 points in this game. Detroit defense isn't anywhere near as good. I know they've been bagged up, the Lions defense. I don't know if they've gotten healthy yet or not, but I know they've been injured a bunch. I have faith in Fangio to dial up a dope play scheme. The offense, not so much. Yeah. I mean, but how sustainable is Vic Fangio's defense when you go up against these tough teams? I don't know. The defense seems to be rounding the form. Even Adoree Jackson played well on Monday night. Save us from 3 and endless long. Look, I get it. Everyone hates the quote-unquote coward's draw on 3rd and long, but we talked about this on the show yesterday. The Eagles lead the league in draw plays on 3rd and long, 7 yards or more. But the other teams that do it a lot as well, like the Eagles, are all playoff teams because in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, it's a low percentage play that has a higher percent chance of a turnover. So, yes, they're conservative, but the smart teams play conservative in those situations. AJ has not called out any of his team. No, he has not. He has not called out anybody. Let me say it again. Defense wins championship. Always. That's our old school way of being brought up, Big Al. Absolutely. Eagles O-line banged up anyway. Facing Detroit, not good. Yeah, the Lions have a great pass rush. And our offensive line is banged up beyond belief. And I keep bringing this up, too, because how much of it is that the offensive line being beat up affects the offense? In my opinion, it does it a lot. BS, there isn't much of Moore or Steichen in these plays or when they're called. There isn't much. There isn't any. That's what we were told, but there is none of it. I wouldn't say much. I would say any of it. Juergens is going to play. I expect he practiced limitedly. He didn't practice at all last week. I expect to have all 5 starters on the offensive line. But none of them are going to be 100%. And that's the problem. You need to rewatch Goff Brady Super Bowl and duplicate, or Super Bowl 59. If Jarrett cooks, he cooks and he distributes the ball well. We were talking about that Super Bowl yesterday on the show, too. Because that game, that was the 13-3. Nobody complained about Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl 13-3, right? Or whatever the score was. We win a game 10-7, and the end of the world is happening. It's annoying, honestly. Goff might get sacked 5 times on Sunday. He's a statue. Absolutely. We don't have to worry about him escaping the pressure. End of the day, we need to be better in 3rd and 5 or more. A single negative play holds back the rhythm. And this is a big part of it, too. How many times has the offense got moving and a dumb penalty, illegal formation, illegal motion, false start? How many times? That happened twice to Jordan Mailata on Monday night. Big play, big drive, and then Mailata false start, backs him up. The discipline on the offense with penalties has been a massive issue that has not been discussed this year at all. Vic needs to blitz more and surprise blitz, maybe up the middle. It's fair. Look at us. We just gained 3 in the last 5 minutes. Like, subscribe, share. It's easy to do, guys. And Saquon has no room. He doesn't. And everyone's like, oh, Saquon lost a step. Saquon hasn't lost anything. The holes are just not there. I mean, at least twice on Monday night. By the time he made contact with the football and got the ball in his belly, twice offensive linemen of the Eagles knocked him backwards. He's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. A ton of it. I fully, wholly believe this. This is why I wanted Howie to address the offensive line at the trade deadline. This is why I said losing Mekhi Becton was going to be such a big challenge to overcome. The offensive line is bad this year. Not lack of talent, just not healthy. 23 was all offense and no defense, and how did that play out? Finally, someone agrees. It wasn't the offense's fault in 2023. The Cam Hurts snaps has to improve, always low and not quick. Yeah, the whole offensive line just has to perform better, right? Did Kevin Patullo graduate from high school on time? He looks like a GD kind of guy. Oh, my God. He probably knew somebody that got him to graduate. He was probably friends with one of the teachers, okay? Eagles fans just complain about everything. We've had so much success. Sometimes I wonder if everyone just gets bored and nip it. You know, negativity sells. All the drama is created by the media, right? And the fans that listen to that certain media people. And success does not create clicks. Negativity creates clicks. And we live in a clickbait era. Plain and simple. I did thoroughly enjoy the Barkley fullback dive. That was a great play. I don't think I've ever seen the Eagles run that in the Nick Sirianni era, Nooms. I don't think they've run that once. Patullo looks like the kind of guy who has lived on who he knows. Yeah, he looks like a Nepo, right? I just shared out to all my Facebook groups. I appreciate that. Maybe. Appreciate it. Maybe it's just the great content too, right? That's not the point. The product is not good and unsustainable. This does not win us anything in the end. Yeah, I mean, you like to think it can, but in reality, it probably cannot win. You've got to be better because come January, winning 10-7 ain't going to happen, right? Patullo seems to be the dictionary definition of failing up. Yeah. My thing with Patullo is he's 16 years in the NFL and never got close to an offensive coordinator job or the play calling duties, and then we just gave it to him. It's very sustainable. You have short memory. At one point this season, we had won 20 out of 21 games. What other teams are doing? Dude, I agree. We're winning. I'm tired of hearing about the 23 team. Yo, Adam, fantastic. Absolutely. This isn't the 24 team. This isn't the 23 team. This isn't the 22 team. This is the 25 team. And A.J. Brown said that yesterday. But he said, last year was last year. Thanks for the ring, but this year's different. And that's so key right there. Toffett Center is a problem, not bad, but, dude, everyone told me because of the way he played against the Giants, I should not be concerned. I was like, come on, Brett Toth isn't that good. But Philly fan complaining is a complete form of stimming right now. Yeah. Bring back the Wildcat. No, stop. The buddy vibes of the whole NFL is detrimental. KP will stay because Nick is his friend because he is comfortable. Non-confrontational, a commodity, right time, right place. There is a lot of this. Absolutely. There's a lot of this in the NFL. For sure. But a lot of it happens on mid teams or bad teams or up-and-coming teams. This kind of style doesn't work on a championship team. I don't know where Deuce is right now, but he's not with the Lions anymore. He's with the Browns. Okay. Yeah, actually, I do remember seeing that. So when we win Sunday night, what will be the next thing that everyone complains about? We will find out Monday morning, right? I'm sure I'll be here Monday morning with you guys, and I'm sure if we win or we lose, there will be something to complain about. And I will continue to leverage that negativity and try to find a way to put a positive spin on it. Because that's what's important to me. Looking at the good. trying to find out what the real problem is. One of the real problems is the offensive line is massively hurt and has been all year. Well, there's not much you can fill up now with no trade deadline. But we need backup offensive line. You need Lane Johnson's replacement. You need to upgrade tight end too. Maybe upgrade safety. There's a lot of things this Eagles team lacks, but they're still the best roster in the NFL. I truly think KP was more on Hurts than anyone else. That's why they weren't interviewing. If there was any doubt, they would have shot. Well, they definitely had to interview somebody because you got the Rooney rule, but it was always going to KP, right? If any offensive coordinators we have actually stay, it would be a miracle. Well, I hate to break it to you, KP ain't getting hired away from us. Maybe we fire him, but that's about it. 7-3 is no big deal. Absolutely. But it's going to be made a big deal because, let's be honest, we haven't played our best football yet. So I had us at 7-3. I had us losing to Green Bay, beating Detroit, but 7-3 is the perfect spot to be in at this point of the season. There's no doubt in my mind that 7-3 is great. 8-2 is better though. We optimize. We don't complain. There you go. We want to optimize everything. I like that. I like that way. No, you complain. I don't complain. Obviously because we didn't score enough, even if we win by 20 against a playoff contending team. Exactly. These guys have short memories. I remember some seasons in the 90s when games were getting blacked out because we stunk so bad. Just enjoy the ride. They don't black out games anymore, do they? Frollo, I don't think they do. But yeah, there were much darker times in Philadelphia sports. Get McDaniels. I don't want Josh McDaniels anywhere. He's terrible. He's nothing. No, I don't want him here at all. They should a machine you can go in and get fuel health right away, like some. Oh, okay. Trying to figure out what you're saying there. Yeah, tap the little heart thing on the screen and it re-energizes you. I said they will end 12-5. That was my prediction as well, and I'm sticking to it. I had them losing at this point of the season. Where's my schedule? I had losses to KC, Denver, and Green Bay, and then Washington and Buffalo. That was what I had. This is absolutely accurate, Nooms. We want to be playing our best football come then. We want to be healthy come January, February. That's all that matters. I don't know. I don't even know if he has a job. I don't know where he is. I know some people have talked about his name with the Giants. I know for how long. But they used to. They don't do it anymore. That's good. They should never do that. I think all the A.J. Brown drama is trying to fire up the whole team, including the coaches. I agree. I think that's one of his motives with it. I think one of his motives is to fire the team up, to get them on the same page, to light that spark. 7-2-94 turn. Oh, my God. Why would you remember that? Those were dark times. They were dark. What? Why? With all the negativity that's surrounding this Eagles team, would you bring that up? Of all things, Noobs, you're trying to say 7-3 is no big deal. Then you remind us of the biggest collapse in Eagles history. God damn you. I don't know how he made it longer than Dabble. I don't either. I would not let Josh McDaniels get the other coaches their coffee. I don't hate anybody, Anthony. Hate's a strong word, okay? I don't think he's as good of a coach. He's a Nepo guy. Got a lot of opportunities because of his relationship with Bill Belichick. Rams or Seahawks will be 8-2 by the end of the weekend. If we want the one spot, this is important. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. If Dan Campbell calls the plays, we are doomed. Dan Campbell does not call plays. AJ is just meat on the bone frustration. I guess, guys, it's the top of the hour. It's 9 a.m. It's trending in the a.m. on the STT Sports Network. We do this every day, 8 a.m. to 9:30, 90 minutes of sports talk. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Let's continue growing. We're up to 841. We got 24 likes on the video, 28 votes on the poll, and clearly, like I knew, Juan Castillo is winning the poll. Is there a way for us to avoid the Rams in the playoffs? I mean, I don't know. I don't worry about the Rams, though. The Rams and the Packers, we have their numbers. Those teams don't concern me come October or come January or February. The teams that would concern me are the Buccaneers, who we seem to always have problems with, even though we got the win this year. The Lions would concern me. Seattle, maybe. I wouldn't want to go to Seattle in the playoffs, I'll tell you that much. But the Rams, we've got their number right now. Dan Campbell took over play calling last week against the Commies. Oh, really? I missed that one. Right, I got so much going on, Anthony, in my life right now. I've missed a lot of details outside of Philly sports. Hell, I've missed some of the details in Philly sports. So I need by the end of next week to maybe do a little reset on my brain, and once everything gets caught up, and then get back to focus, because my focus is so shot. I missed this. This is something I would have seen probably normally. Bucks and Rams are a kryptonite. We've beaten the Rams 3 straight games, though. Twice last year, including the playoffs, and already this year. So the Rams aren't our kryptonite. The Bucks definitely are. Get the number 1 seed and let everyone come here. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, we obviously, everyone will say, well, you know, we got to the Super Bowl last year by being the 2 seed. Yeah, we got to that because Detroit lost early, and we got all home playoff games, right? That's not 1 seed's not losing their first playoff game very often. So yes, you do want that 1 seed. Well, I appreciate that. Abe, are you new to the channel, or do I not know who you are because the YouTube changes everybody's screen names? I don't know if you're new or I don't know who you are. So please let me know. Eagles beat the Bucks and Rams both already this year, but the Bucks still are a concern to me. Yes, Paul Skeens, Cy Young winner, unanimous. They announced it last night. No surprise there. Was really, really proud and happy that Christopher Sanchez got unanimous second place votes. All 30 votes for second place went to Christopher Sanchez. That's a huge honor for him. Really happy that Jesus Luzardo finished 7th in Cy Young voting. The fact that he got some votes, love it. Love it. I know Rams beaten, but it's always close, too close. And that's true. It isn't always a close game. Not worried yet. There's no clear number 1 team. The Bills, Lions, Packers, us look good one week and then bad the next. It's a very weird one. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. They changed everybody's, like, used to say, like, Phil Stiefel or Anthony. It used to have your name, not your @handle. And it changed YouTube last week. And now I'm trying to learn the people that don't have profile pictures who they are. And I appreciate that. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., plus lots of other content. Plus I'm live during every single Eagles game for the entirety of the game. So this is the people show. This is what we do here every single day. Better than you get on the radio. Guarantee it. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, still sitting at 24 likes, 28 votes on the poll. We're trying to figure this out. We are. But anyway, to the Phillies point that Adam dropped. You know, yeah, Paul Skeens, Cy Young, great. Scooble, the dude from Detroit, got the AL Cy Young. Not many people have won back-to-back Cy Youngs or multiple Cy Youngs. Love the respect in giving every second-place vote to Christopher Sanchez. It really meant a lot there, in my opinion. Hope Eagles extend Jalen Phillips in order to target a corner round 1 like Malik Muhammad and Cameron Williams and Miles Hinton should be ready. Williams and Hinton, I haven't heard anything about their development from anybody. There's 0 chance the Eagles will draft a cornerback in round 1 next year, Jonathan. I would bet the farm on it, okay? Yes, I want them to extend Jalen Phillips too. But they've got so much invested in Quinion and Coop. They're not going to do it again. Offensive line, absolutely. Tight end 2, absolutely. Or 1 next year, absolutely. Maybe a safety, maybe a wide receiver in the first round. If you do trade A.J. Brown, that's where your target is. What do we do with the Dory? I mean, he's on a 1-year deal. He's going to start again this week. Jacorian Bennett is active, but that's it. It is what it is. You can't have 3 Pro Bowl, all-pro cornerbacks in the NFL. The people's champ in the podcasting world. That's right. Damn straight. Eagles taking edge. Edge is also a possibility, unless they extend Phillips, and maybe they don't. Our first-round pick will be tight end or O-line. Absolutely agree. Why left tackle? Are you moving Jordan Mailata to the right side? I figured you go right tackle. They should what? Draft line? Yes. Line should absolutely be what's drafted early. It's more than likely they hit cornerback 2 in free agency than the draft, but should look up. Yeah, I mean, they tried to upgrade it in the draft this year. Mac McWilliams. It just did not work out. Yet. You can't have all. People want an all-pro at cornerback too. You already got 2 all-pro cornerbacks. What's up, Steven? How you doing, Mr. Soldier Steve? Hope you are well. Hope you enjoyed the Sixers game on Tuesday night. Paul Chump is the last stage of rehab. What a garbage word salad. What? I don't even know what you're saying there. I don't even understand that. Anyway, I don't worry about the draft. I don't worry about next offseason. I don't worry about trading A.J. Brown in the offseason. You know why? Because I don't care. The offseason doesn't start till after the Super Bowl in February. I will focus on how we can get back to the Super Bowl this year far more than what they got to do in the offseason. Oh, you meant right tackle. Yeah, right tackle, you got to get. You got to get a better young guard to develop. Paul Chump is in the last. Okay, gotcha. You're talking about Paul George. Gotcha. Yeah. I love this team so much. Want them to be great, not good or mid. We're the Super Bowl champs. Act like it. I agree. And you know what, Rick? I look back on that situation and how I reacted to the sit-ups in the front lawn and how I was so pissed at AJ or T.O. and I was taking Don McNabb's side in it. This time, you don't want to let it get to that, right? And this goes back to the mental health. We've discussed it. If he's not seeing someone, A.J. Brown, he better start seeing somebody. I've stood by this point, Rick, for years on this show and every piece of content I've ever done in my 5+ years of making content. Every athlete in the NBA, MLB, NHL, and NFL should be required to see somebody regularly. You have independent concussion protocol doctors. Go get independent, psychiatrists or psychologists for every team. You're required every other week or once a month, whatever you want to make it, to go speak to somebody just to make sure. I'm not saying this because of the Marshawn Nealon thing. I mean, it brought it up more this week. And not every situation is going to go to the extreme as Marshawn Nealon's situation went. But everybody should see someone. Everybody. It's okay to talk to people about your problems. I've been talking about this for years, but this past week has brought it up even more. I mean, no disrespect when AJ needs to seek mental help, and that's okay. We don't know if he needs it or not. We think he does. Maybe he's perfectly fine, and this is just who he is. But maybe it would also teach him ways to channel his frustration. Like he's frustrated, and we see how he reacts. If he speaks to somebody about his frustrations, often me venting to you guys makes the rest of my day better. This is my form of, help, mental help. Rambling on, forgetting, whatever. Everybody's got to find an outlet. And speaking to somebody is important. Look, there's so much that goes into it, okay, with mental health. These players, especially in football, with CTE, all the hits they take, the rattling of their brain, mess with them, right? The immense amount of pressure they're under because of the social media world and how every fan, every Tom, Dick, and Harry will go at them and call out them and threaten their wives and their kids. Okay? And then you got the fact that they're under immense pressure because of the money that they're paid these days. I go back to Alex Rodriguez. He talked after his playing career was over, before he got on ESPN, about why he took steroids. Okay? And he was very open about why he took them. Because I was a young kid. I signed a $250 million contract. The immense amount of pressure I was under, I was collapsing under it. He didn't have somebody to talk to about the pressure. So he took steroids to solve his problem. These players have so much coming from so many different directions. I feel like all people should be allowed and encouraged to see. They're all allowed to, but they should be encouraged to see. It should not be looked upon as a weakness. He was talking to somebody, and that's why I said at the very beginning of the show, I didn't care. I don't know who Janky, I have to look at it because I can't remember his name. I don't know who Janky Rondo is. Big Twitch guy, right? I guess. I don't know who he is. But he was just having fun, blowing off steam, having fun. He was probably enjoying an adult beverage or something else. Let him chill out. Let him blow off some steam. Don't make a big deal about it. Yeah, podcasting is a great way to release energy, frustrations, and everything. He used to grow up, first and foremost, way too immature. He's a dad of two. Come on. I've met A.J. Brown. I've seen him with his family. But I think he only had one kid at that point. Well, I only saw one kid there. He's a phenomenal person. And he's great with his kid. I think he wasn't married yet. I think it was just his girl at the time. Very good. And he's very good with the kid. I met him at a football camp that I was working at. Okay? IPAs and a nice sativa tonight to relax on my podcast. That's the way to do it, Rick. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. Whether it's sativa or indica, it just depends on the time of the day and the mood I'm in, what I'm drinking and what I'm taking, but that's another whole subject for another whole day and show, right? That's just what we do here. All right, we're coming up to the final 15 here, right? And I don't think we've gotten to the bottom of any of this. We have vented. We have let go of our let out our frustrations. And I truly wonder, because again, I'm pointing the finger. It's not a blame game, but I'm pointing the finger, the problem of the health of the offensive line. Would the offense look different? Would A.J. Brown be happier? Would Saquon Barkley have better numbers if the offensive line was healthy? If the offensive line was healthy, would things be different? And I think the answer is pretty unequivocally yes. You know, I saw one of the nitwits, I think it was Dan Sillyman, on his show talking about how bad Howie Roseman was. And he should be fired and stuff like that because he's failed. And Sillyman's just an idiot and a nitwit, right? But Howie Roseman didn't have his best offseason. He relied on too many people he shouldn't rely on. He made some mistakes. Now, I'm not going to fire him over it. I'm not going to overly criticize him. But him bringing in Matt Pryor and Brett Toth as your depth on the offensive line versus other options was definitely a misstep. I looked up our remaining schedule, some hurdles there. Yeah, I mean, obviously Detroit, you got Buffalo, you got the Chargers, you've got two Commanders games, which we know they're not going to be whatever. The Bears are a good upcoming team. Yes, the offensive line being healthy would affect us, right? What's up, Woody? How you doing today? Phil, keep an eye out for Willow Park Brewing in PA. They're putting out amazing beers. I mean, I'll write it down. I've never heard of them. Where's my list here? Willow Park. I'll have to look them up. I really, during the Eagles game when I was live streaming, Rick, on Monday night, I had some really bad beer. Was at the beer store getting beer a couple of weeks ago, and I was at the checkout line. They had yellow sticker things. They had a 4-pack of pounders of Victory Brewery, which I'm a huge Victory fan. But it was key lime pie beer. And it was just so like $3.99 for 4 16-ounce beers. I got to try it. It's a victory beer. It was so bad. It did taste like key lime pie. I don't know what it tasted like. It was a Vienna lager or Vienna. It was a Vienna. It was just terrible. It was just so bad. Trading for Jalen Phillips, in my opinion, will go down as the move that galvanized this defense. Such a great move. I mean, Jalen Phillips stepped right in and fit in instantly with this Eagles team. To have that kind of impact, have that kind of an impact in your first game, it's so rare. It takes time to adjust. And that's why when the trade happened, I sat on this show, and you were in your MIA stage. I said it so many times. The fact that Jalen Phillips knew Vic Fangio's system, knew Vic Fangio's terminology, knew Vic Fangio's expectations, put him in a position to be able to succeed instantly. Oh, it was so bad. I'm a huge key lime pie fan. I'm a huge beer fan. It was $4 for 4 pounders. I'm like, you can't pass that up. It's not good. Definitely not their best. Howie laid an egg, knows it, and we'll have to fix it. He fixed it in season at the trade deadline a little bit, and he's gonna fix it in the offseason. I have full faith. I used to drink Hop Devil. Hop Devil's okay. I always wanted to try Miller High Life. Is it good? I don't know. I think I might have had one at some point. It's not good beer. Anything by Miller's not good. It feels like Phillips was meant to be an Eagle. I mean, we talked about it last week when he got traded here, and he said, the greatest moment of my life was getting traded to the Eagles. You see the excitement of him wanting to be here. Alexander never made sense to me. Jerry Alexander, talked about it a little bit yesterday. Still don't know the situation and what really is unfolding with Jair Alexander. It's frustrating. It's sad. Hopefully he gets right. But yeah, it's a tough one. Same here. Love key lime pie and love beer, but it just sounds so weird. For $4, I had to try it, and I still have one left. Not gonna waste it. But man, it was not. I would never buy that again. I do not do score predictions till about 9:20 on the Friday morning show. I gotta wait. I gotta let it evolve. I gotta let it marinate. It's too early for predictions. Too early in the week for predictions. If I did shows on Saturday and Sunday, I'd make you wait till then too. When Alexander came here and AJ said he was his daddy, maybe that is what Alexander say. I don't know. I don't even know what you're saying because I know you said this in a comment. I never heard this. Never saw this. It is weird that 2 players that both said that they were healthy and had plenty in the tank retired shortly after getting to Philly. It's very weird. Maybe they didn't like working under Vic Fangio. Maybe they didn't like what was being asked of him. Maybe Jerry Alexander wanted to play day one, and Vic Fangio doesn't play his cornerbacks day one. He has a lot of things he wants to feel confident to put you out there. So maybe there's some of that. I don't know. And I don't think we'll know till way down the line. Sorry, I don't like making predictions till the last possible second. I want as much information as I can. AJ is his daddy. Read somewhere that Alexander got told he's not playing. He was probably told you got to earn your way on the field. He was probably told you got to prove it on the practice field. That there's no egos on this defense. You got to earn it. And we love Cooper Dejean. It took till week 6 last year till Cooper Dejean was on the field regularly. You got to earn it here. And he probably didn't like that. So Darius Smith made some sense to me, but Vic demands a lot, both physically and in the playbook. I think that's part of it. Is it possible AJ's level of toxicity? I mean, maybe. If you're weak mentally and can't handle the way he handles himself, it's possible. I mean, we blame 23 on the locker room, and that was supposedly Hassan Reddick. I don't know. Everyone has a level of toxicity. I hate that word. I can never say it. Toxicity. Yeah, I believe that, Nooms. I agree to that. I fully believe it. I guess it's possible. Look, A.J. Brown is a special breed, right? But all elite wide receivers are divas. All elite wide receivers want the ball. All elite players have a little of that diva personality to them. Honestly, I fully believe that Jalen Hurts has diva personality in him as well. People don't want to admit it, but he does. Everybody does, okay? But we're much better with him and managing the situation than without him. What do we do with Tanner time demands? We do not talk the McKeisters here, okay? No McKeisters here. There's a lot of McKeisters in the chat, but I am no McKeister, okay? Got some hazy IPAs for tonight. Which brand are you talking about? You get them from Willow Park or somewhere else? Yeah. AJ Astrology, pleasing the Cancer Sun Taurus Moon personally, finds it easy to adapt to other demands, but overall will not accept advice from anyone and only pursue their own dreams. Look at that. We're going deep with the astronomy lesson. Gotcha. Interesting. But it does seem to fit him very well. Treehouse Brewing. I've heard of them. I don't know if I've tried them, but I know I've heard of that before. If you watch the tape of the Giants loss, you see Za'Darius being given more responsibility and being completely out of position. Even initial interviews, he expressed the complexities of the D. I think there's a lot to that. And maybe Jerry Alexander really wanted to come here and then got here, saw the playbook and said, shit, I can't do this. I'm past this part. I'm still just learning the base right now. Yeah, it takes time. Flyers secure a point last night against a great Edmonton team. Look, and the Sixers and the Flyers are in the same boat for me. Zero expectations. And the reason why I say this, you haven't been here for a few weeks, Rick. Putting no expectations on the team, I don't care if they win 10 games or 80 games. I don't care if they make the playoffs or don't. Putting zero expectations on these teams has made it so much more fun to watch them on a daily basis. Because if they struggle, whatever. If they do great, awesome. The lack of expectations I put on them, it's fantastic. Love the astronomy lesson. Deep thinker there. AJ being treated. Look, I've never been an astronomy person. I've known a lot of people that are into that kind of stuff. Never been my cup of tea. But it is funny to read some of those things and to see how accurate they are. I know a bunch of women had problems with complexities. They never had They never had problems with the complexity of yours. They just couldn't find yours, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. No expectations is a bonus every time. Love it. Like it's great. Like last year with the Flyers and Sixers, I put expectations, right? And that's why I was disappointed. I probably will do the same thing with the Phillies. Put no expectations on them. And I'll probably enjoy it more. Now, I can't not put expectations on the Eagles. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. Sorry, the show was too deep. Oh, you had to bring the word deep into the conversation, right? See, we can go lowbrow. I know how to go lowbrow humor. I'm a Delco boy. I know all about that kind of humor. I was raised on that humor, Big Al. No one can go dirtier and darker and deeper than me. That's what she said. Where are we at here? Still, more people prefer Kevin Patullo to continue play calling than Nick Sirianni, based on the poll question right now, right? And I think that's the correct answer. Philly signed 2 major free agents this offseason. Bank it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. My perfect offseason would be re-signing JT Realmuto to a 2-year deal, re-signing Kyle Schwarber for 4 years, bringing up Aiden Miller, Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford immediately, trading Alec Boehm, and making just one big free agent signing and throwing the farm at Kyle Tucker. I know it still keeps us very left-handed dominant. You make some other moves to fix that, whatever. But that is my perfect offseason. That's just me. Phrasing matters, right? I don't have expectations for Flyers, but after hearing Briere and Jones and Tocchet talking at Camp Out for Hunger has got a very good vibe. The vibes are high, and I do love that. I do love that. Dodgers navigated the regular season expertly, managed their pitching this year. Absolutely agree. I make all my draft decisions based off astrology. Michael Jordan is an Aquarius. So is Cooper Dejean. Coincidence? I think not. So give me, who are the biggest athletes? I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday's in a month from tomorrow. Give me information on who I am as a Sagittarius and who my Sagittarius comparison is athletically speaking. Have to bring back JT. It's a must. I just don't want to get stuck on like a 4-year contract with him. They got to find there are other options. I've read articles. I haven't taken notes on them. There are other options, but I don't think as good as JT. You got to bring in. You got to bring him back, and you got to hope to start developing somebody soon to take over at the catcher position. It's a shame we lack that ingenuity. Yeah. Tucker and Bichette to the Phillies. Bohm and Cass gone. Oh, I fully expect Cass is gone. I'm not even talking about that because there's no chance. Okay. Bohm or Stott are going to be gone, in my opinion. Probably Bohm, but I think there's like this like little part of the back of my head that they think that they might get rid of Stott if they prefer Aiden Miller there. Tucker's been. I've been getting when he was available at the trade deadline 2 deadlines ago. I was willing to trade anybody for him. Nobody wanted to do it. Everyone told me I was nuts. And here we are, and now we're going to get him. Well, we could get him. Yeah, I don't think Bo Bichette leaves either. I think Bo Bichette stays. But you never know. The Phillies have a very important offseason. Boom, that's a fan fave. I don't know if he's a fan fave. I think Stott might be just as much. But the team needs changes. Casty gone, Bohm or Stott gone, or both. I'm okay with it. You can't pay. It's true. It's true. Yeah, Cody Bellinger would be okay. I don't hate it. I'm blinded in that argument because I've been pounding the table for almost 2 years now. Well, a year and a half now to bring Kyle Tucker to Philly. And everyone keeps telling me you can't. You couldn't trade for him because he was a free agent. You couldn't sign him because he cost too much money. You can't sign him because he's a lefty. Like everything I've been told. And it blinds me on the Bellinger thing. So I may be wrong on that, but it's just because I've been so upfront about how much I want him on this team. Jay-Z is a Sagittarius. Oh, okay. You should have pursued more your music career. I had a budding music career. I was quite the pianist. Okay. But you just had to take over the family business. Yeah. Stott, good defense, horrible offense. Yeah. I mean, he's got offensive potential, but I mean, he's been up long enough that that potential just is what it is. Harper stays. Yeah, Harper ain't going anywhere. There's no way Bryce Harper's going anywhere. Sorry. It's just not happening. Scorpio's crazy. I'm not a Scorpio, so I don't know. Sagittarius is what I am. I don't even know what month Scorpio is. I don't even know where Sagittarius starts and ends. I just know I'm a Sagittarius. That's it. All right, we got to wrap this baby up, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for Ave for finding the show and subscribing. Tell your friends. This is the place to get your sports talk every morning, sometime in the afternoons, and on the weekends. Yeah, Harper ain't going anywhere. Without young players elevating this team, the offseason moves are so unbelievable pointless right now. They're in a tough spot. The Phillies are. Absolutely. This has been a great show. Fun, high-quality show today. It was. It was great to be back after missing the last 3 days because of work. We do this every morning. Today was actually kind of light. We only have 291 comments so far. That's it. Like normally we get into the 350s. This is the people show. This is the people show. I just set the title and then I let you guys talk and we just interact. The topics change randomly at a moment's notice. Hence we just switched right over to the Phillies there for the last 20 minutes. Anyway, I got to wrap it up. I got to get to work, guys. Everybody have a great Thursday. Bundle up. It's cold out there. Go Birds. Bubbles up.